Warning: sensitive images.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programas offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule.
番組は多言語放送です。放送予定は suprememastertv.com/schedule。
The reward is in every face here every day, or every person who tells us that their life changed for the better for themselves or for animals by experiencing the work that we've done or listening to the stories that we tell for the animals. That keeps all of us going.
Supreme Master Qinghai thankfully present Broken Shoals Farm Sanctuary with a Shining World Compassion Award plus $10,000 as a humble token of appreciation and support for your noble work saving precious lives, with high praises and best wishes in heaven's blessings and mercy.
Continue watching to find out more.
VEG, Proof of Intelligence.
Wonderful viewers, encantado de conocerlos means nice to meet you in Spanish, the official language of the Canary Islands. I am Juan. The joyful people of the Canary Islands welcome all visitors with open arms, big smiles, and love. Welcome to the first episode of our show, Broken Shoals Farm Sanctuary, a labor of love, with Andrea Davis, vegan. Broken Shoals Farm Sanctuary in Colorado, USA was founded in 2017 by Andrea Davis. Formerly a goat people and chicken people farm, it is now a safe haven for almost 500 formerly exploited animal people. In today's program, Andrea tells us how this sanctuary came into being. As a young child, Andrea loved animal people. When she was only 15, she stopped eating any kind of meat and became a vegetarian. However, she continued to consume dairy and eggs, believing that these industries were humane.
For 25 years, I was a vegetarian and assumed that there was nothing wrong with eggs and there was nothing wrong with milk. I regret not knowing, but also this industry is set up to keep its consumers not knowing. Because I think the majority of people would never want to participate in cruelty, would never want to hurt an animal or another human, but we keep them not knowing.
As an adult, Andrea started what she thought was a humane goat people and chicken people operation, making her living by selling cheese and eggs. However, one day she saw a video of a terrified cow peasant struggling to escape imminent death at a slaughterhouse. It touched her heart so deeply that she immediately became a vegan. Shortly after, she also realized the truth about her so-called humane dairy and egg operation.
If anyone was motivated and truly wanted to produce humane dairy and eggs, it was me. Unfortunately, there was something nagging inside me that I really needed to be honest. And I don't think being honest, there is a way to do humane dairy and eggs. And it goes back to that issue of the reason why these animals are able to produce as much milk as they do, or the reason that they're able to produce as many eggs as they do, is because they've been bred over so many generations to be able to make, rather than just 12 eggs a year as a chicken naturally would, they make 250 to 350 eggs per year. Watching the chickens' bodies fall apart and get cancer, with goats, watching them get older, watching them get cancer that is hormone driven.
After realizing the myth about so-called humane farming, Andrea quit her egg and cheese business. She deeply regretted the suffering she had caused to the animal people and wanted to make amends. Thus, in 2017, Andrea founded Broken Shovels Farm Sanctuary, donating both her house and her land to it. She tells us how the sanctuary's name came into being.
So Broken Shovels became a symbol of being willing to put in really hard work. Taking on a project of this size is always going to be hard work. And being honest, we've always put the animals before ourselves. So we didn't have a lot of machinery before. We actually this year got our very first tractor. Before that, we did everything by hand, and we have broken a lot of shovels, but we wanted to put more into the actual animal facilities, the housing, the caring for the animals themselves, and the huge 800-pound hay bales that we feed. The three of us original caretakers learned how to roll those squares ourselves without the help of a tractor. So it came to mean the hard work, the sincerity, the earnest desire to be a caretaker and to right some wrongs, I suppose. And I would say that closing the dairy and opening the sanctuary, although one of the scariest things that I've ever done, is also the most rewarding.
Caring for all the needs of hundreds of animal people every day is an immense task. To provide the best care possible, Andrea and some of her helpers live at the sanctuary.
The reason why we live and work on site is that there's no boundary to the hours that we'll be working. Sometimes we'll be working at midnight, sometimes we'll be working at 3 a.m, sometimes 2 p.m. It all just depends. We have a core staff of 7, and everyone who is part of our staff is vegan. We have 5 who live on site. We are not employees. We do our work and trade for a place to live here on the sanctuary. And then we have a staff of around 50 volunteers who are here anywhere from once a month to once a week.
Andrea shares what happens on a typical day at the sanctuary.
Typical day, gosh, one of us is up usually by 5:30 or 6 doing a quick oversee of everything that's going on, just making sure everything is safe, everybody's doing well, nobody's feeling badly. And then we start the feeding, medicating, watering, all of the tasks that it takes to keep someone alive. Some days we have vet runs, some days we have animals who, for their health, have to be sheared once a year. So some days there might be a shearer, someone here trimming hooves. With 23 species, very specific between birds and mammals, and cats and dogs need different things than large animals. Goats need different things than cows.
Try vegan. God loves you, man.
We will take a moment to look at some of the delightful animal people living at Broken Shovels Farm Sanctuary. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to our show, Broken Shovels Farm Sanctuary, a true labor of love, with Andrea Davis, vegan. Running an animal people's sanctuary is no small feat, and Andrea says it is even more challenging because of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Our basic expenses for just the food, bedding, the expected costs is about $35,000 every month to pay for our hay and pay for the pigs' pellets and the chickens' grains and things like that. So it's a lot to keep up with. So before COVID, we had on average about 30,000 visitors per year. Prior to the pandemic, we were 80% self-funded by our events here. So when I say self-funded, it means that we were giving a service or an experience in exchange for most of our operating budget. Post-pandemic, that flipped. So 80% relying on donations. So the pandemic changed the way that we brought in our operating funds, for sure. We had to be closed for almost 9 months, that we were unable to have visitors at all. And even now, we're coming back at a much lower number of visitors at a time.
Operating the sanctuary day after day is not always easy. How do Andrea and her staff keep motivated?
There are definitely days when everything seems too much. We're dealing with seeing the results of violence and abuse, the stress of the money to be able to continue doing what we do, plus all this other stuff. And then the big picture of knowing that, we may save 500 animals, but 70 billion are killed every year in the food industry. But there are definitely days when you feel like, can't do it, it's too hard. And then you wake up in the morning and everybody still needs to get fed and everybody still needs to get watered. And then that little part of you heals just enough to keep going.
Lila.
Andrea states that, although the work is challenging, it is also very rewarding. When people visit Broken Shovel's Farm Sanctuary, it can change their lives.
The reward is in every face here every day, or every person who tells us that their life changed for the better for themselves or for animals by experiencing the work that we've done or listening to the stories that we tell for the animals. I think everyone wants to change lives for the better. And that keeps all of us going.
Broken Shovel's Farm Sanctuary has expanded to the point where it can no longer take in additional animal people. Andrea explains what people can do to help.
We have to turn down over 2,000 animals every single year who someone wants to surrender to us, but that we don't have the capacity for. Most of those were people purchasing an animal because they decided that they were going to have backyard dairy goats or backyard chickens or, pet ducks. So the first thing would be not buying animals from the industry. So that's the short term. Long term would be going vegan and vegan advocacy, normalizing veganism, making it mainstream. That is long term going to be the best solution.
Many thanks, Andrea Davis, for your novel decision to transition your farm into an animal people's sanctuary. You are a shining beacon of light for others to follow. May you be abundantly blessed for your wisdom and compassion. Supreme Master Ching Hai thankfully present Broken Shovel's Farm Sanctuary with the Shining World Compassion Award plus $10,000 as a humble token of appreciation and support for your noble work saving precious lives. With high praises and the best wishes, in heaven's blessings and mercy. Supreme Master Ching Hai is deeply grateful to the most merciful, beloved God for all the financial help, comfort, and support to the afflicted and needy and or any good cause over the years, as a humble vessel for hers, neutral term for his, hers, compassion and love towards his precious children. For more information on Broken Shovels Farm Sanctuary, please visit brokenshovels.com.
I spent over 1,000 hours looking at peer-reviewed medical science and realized that a plant-based diet is superior and optimal for health and athletic performance. I'm a true believer in a plant-based diet. James Wilkes, vegan.
Warm-hearted viewers, thank you for your presence on today's program. Please join us next week on Thursday, April 21st, as we continue this interview. Coming up next is The World Left Ukraine to Fight Alone, Part 14 of 17, on Between Master and Disciples, right after Noteworthy News. May you always be blessed by the divine.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/VEG.